All right, Jeremy Stoll, here we are. Unbelievable. So glad to be speaking with you. Here we
Same.
are. You're going to be joining us on July 20th at 9:30 at 54 Below as part of the Three Phantoms coming to improvise with Broadway's next hit musical. How you doing?
Great. Thank you very much. I'm doing just fine. Nice sunny
So
day.
it is a nice sunny day. It's a lovely day. And you are a phantom on many levels, my friend. Not only have you performed as the phantom, but now you are here doing you're performing as a phantom as part of Masquerade.
That's great. Yes. I'm at Masquerade NYC, and it's a special immersive show based on Andrew Lloyd Webber, by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and
Yeah.
it's a really good time. Yes.
Yeah, how's it been? How's that show? I mean, how's it been going and what's it like to take on that role in this different context?
It's very fun. It's so interesting to be immersed in the audience where you get instant feedback. We know how they're doing. Where I did the Broadway show for 15 years, and luckily it's a black void into the audience, and you just tell a story with a fourth wall. Here, the people are a part of the story, and it's
Yeah.
kind of epic because I've done it for so long. This new version, I'm finding all kinds of new things. There's a bunch of us from the old show, and
Right.
we're all. It's a positive experience for all of us, I would say.
So it's interesting to think of taking a character that you've been playing, I mean, for so many years and
Yeah.
putting it in a new context. Like, does the character carry over? And I mean, does the way that you approach the character carry over into the new context? Like, do you feel like you're wearing the character in a new way? Yeah, how does that carry over?
There's some parts of it that carry over. The character's still the same person, although we do have six different phantoms, which three of us
Right.
are human, and there's six different interpretations, kind of. But in
Yeah.
the case of this show, there's more backstory, and then there's more dialogue involved. So there
Right.
is a lot more explained about his actual character. So I feel it's a deeper experience,
Yeah.
where the Broadway show was intended to be vague so that you would have
Right.
questions and come back and come back and come back, and it was kind of the audience's imagination to fill in all the gaps in the Broadway show, where
Yeah.
here we spoon feed a lot of the story, I think.
Wow. This is, did you have any relationship to Phantom before you did it on Broadway? Like, did you see it as a kid?
Oh yeah,
Did
I
you?
was that 18-year-old kid with braces and a Phantom shirt. It's like I'm gonna be on Broadway with the Phantom. Yeah, I was totally that guy.
Were you really? That was
Oh
like a
yeah,
dream.
I was actually voted in high school most likely to be in Phantom of the Opera. That's how obnoxious I was. Yeah.
And now you are not only in Phantom, but you are in Phantom in several contexts. That's
Yes,
incredible. Well,
correct.
good job, high school voters. And
You're
speaking of high school, you were doing musicals in high school, and I'm going to the sort or the resource, the always reliable resource of the internet and Wikipedia. You went to California Irvine, right? And
Yeah, I
and
did.
that's where you started working in professionally. Is that right? During your stint at California, or was that after?
Uh, I did some professional theater before
Okay.
when I was still I grew up in Modesto. I was doing
Oh, okay.
summer stock and things, and then in Irvine I started doing non-equity stints and little deals, and then the day I graduated, I started at Disney World as Gaston in the Beauty and the Beast
Nice.
show, and
Yeah.
yeah.
We have Broadway's Next Musical has a lot of relationship to the sentences that you just said. We've performed in Modesto a number of times, and we have one of our sort of main MC, one of our producers, is a longtime Disney cast member at when they used to have Pleasure Island. Used to improvise there,
Oh
and
yeah, that's when I was there. Yeah, I
where
remember that show. It was so good.
it
In
was
fact,
so good.
when you were telling me about improvisation, I just keep thinking about that show. I would go weekly on
Well,
the cast
yeah,
night. Yeah, I
you
love
probably
it.
saw Greg then. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, a great show and a great, and I think I'm curious. so many great, I mean, so many performers at least spend a little bit of time working at Disney. Probably most people in Earth have spent some point, whether or not they know it, working for Disney. So you, at least part of your training was working for Disney and working at Disney. So how was that helpful? What was that? What did you learn from working at
Oh,
Disney?
I loved working at Disney. Disney has a special connection to the audience. I think I learned at Disney like service, and I learned that the show starts the minute you get a ticket. Your show starts as soon as you walk up to the door and give your ticket to that person. That
Mm.
first interaction starts the show, and then when you walk in, when they give you the playbills and when they sit you down, how does that go? And all of those touches really uh, create a nice show. When you walk into a show and you've been harassed by the usher, we're already at a deficit before the curtain's even up. You know what I'm saying? It's all,
Yeah.
and they took that much care, and I loved it. And the story, they Disney's a neat company to work for because they take care of the employees, they take care of the experience, and it's really just about achieving something great because and
Mm,
I love
mm,
that.
mm. Yeah, for the sake of the thing and for the
Yeah, for
sake
the
of the
sake of
audience.
why not be the best at it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. And do you feel like have you seen that now? I mean, now that you've spent so much time working on Broadway, have you seen that ethic continue, or do you feel like you've sort of seen a range of that in the work that you've done?
I've seen a range. Like I myself continue that, and
Yeah.
how I interact with people, how I interact online, even that all says stuff about us. And then I'll go to some shows. I've been to several shows where the staff is so good. And I'll say something to the house manager. I was like, from the minute I walked in, this was a great experience. Like Harry Potter was one of those experiences. That house is brilliant.
Immersive. Yeah. Yeah.
Also the house manager knew from the minute I walked up into line, everybody is super nice. And then I've been to other shows where they're just over their job, like you don't walk here, get over there. Well, good, and I'm being
Yeah.
down into the machines, and I'm going, this is
Yeah.
cool. I don't want to see the show now.
Oh, that's yeah. And wow, that is a shame. Yeah, you're right. It should be a full experience from the minute that you walk in. And I
Yeah,
imagine that in terms of you as a performer, I mean, they must have at the same time, like the commitment to the entire experience, the commitment to the level of performance and the commitment to the professionalism must have been so
yeah.
high. Like I know, just as a spectator, you don't see any, there are no seams. I mean, it is a perfect performance, at least from our perspective.
Yeah. You spent 20 to 30 million dollars putting up a show with people who have dedicated their entire lives since practically birth to be on that stage, and then you're not gonna go for the details of what
Right.
happened or when you
Right.
leave or all that. Like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Right. Amazing. So you did you went straight from Disney to New York?
I went no, and then I went back to Modesto and I taught high
Okay.
school and I did some more
Oh,
regional
that
theater
oh,
and
that
then I
was in
went to
high
New
school.
York.
Oh, okay, okay. Great.
No,
And
I
so
taught high school. Yeah,
you
I
taught high school. Okay.
I taught high school. After college, I went to Disney, then went back and taught high school, and then
Got it.
there's more
And you're
stories in there, but
there's
yeah,
more stories, right? And then you made it to New York and you've done some amazing, I mean, I was reading about all your credits. You've done some incredible tons of shows. I mean, I'm, I've Thoroughly Modern Millie. I was reading about your Camelot, and of course, you have your Jekyll and Hyde, and then we can't even forget about your Scarlet Pimpernel,
Scott
where you won your
Pimpernel,
Best
yeah,
Actor, right? I mean, incredible.
Hunchback of
Um,
Notre Dame.
your Hunchback too. So yeah.
Uh,
So what are some standouts for you? What are when you think about your past, however many years? What are some productions that really stand out for you, and why?
I would Hunchback definitely stands out because I sat in a room with Stephen Schwartz, Alan Menken, Peter Parnell, and created a movie that I loved as a youth to into
Mm,
a stage play, and I got to be a part of that. And I'm on the album, and I got to be from day one to the end of days. I got to be a part of that.
mm,
That was So fantastic. 2015. That was a beautiful thing.
Wow. What did
Uh,
you yeah, what did you learn in that? I'm just curious. What I mean, you're working with these phenomenal people, phenomenal artists. You're bringing your own phenomenal artistry to that. So, what did you learn in that process?
I learned that it's an exploration for everybody, and it's a creativity, and you work best when you leave your egos at the door. There were many things that happened. Like Michael Arden was our Quasimodo. Michael Arden is a very creative person, and
Mm.
he has an understanding of theater, I think, that is special. And he would have suggestions, and he would give them to Disney and to Alan Menken, and they would be like, "That's interesting. Let's go with this." You know,
Wow.
and they would all his input was taken and loved. And watching Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz work together was really interesting because Stephen Schwartz is a musical writer,
Yeah.
but he wasn't in this story. He just wrote, he was lyrics. Like Peter Pan did the books and he did lyrics, so he would not give input to Alan. He let Alan do that job. Alan respected his lyrics, and they just, it was really interesting to watch uh, the best of the best work together and
Yeah.
to be so respectful. It was awesome.
That's
It was really,
incredible because it almost sounds like what you're saying is it was like it was a really collaborative environment and yet
yeah,
people stayed in their lanes.
yeah, they did. And then they were backed by Disney. So in the rehearsal hall, we had, for example, in the rehearsal hall, while we're learning music, we had a band. They hired a band to play
Wow.
instead of a piano player. And then there were times when they would come up with a song for a scene. We would learn it in the morning. Now this would be printed out. The whole band would get the charge. We would get the charge. We'd learn it and we'd stage it and do it. And then we'd go to lunch and Disney would chat about it. And then we'd come back and go, "We didn't like it. We want to change it." But they had already changed it, had already reprinted a new number, and it was ready for us to go and ready to play. And then we just dug right in, and we had a second number by the end of the workday. It was a machine.
Incredible. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It sounds like a factory. I mean,
yeah,
that's
it was
amazing.
awesome because they have all the resource.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, what a, I think when people think about like, okay, here's this guy, Jeremy Stoll, he's had this incredible career so far, even, and he's got so much more to go, and he's already done so many incredible things. Like, what a, what a lucky guy. He gets to perform on stage. And I think what people probably don't realize is that so much of the good fortune comes from the fact that you've had these experiences with, you know, like it's the work, it's not just when you get to the point where you get to get on stage and perform. It's this like beautiful process beforehand and all these incredible people that you've had the opportunity to work with that help you grow and you help them grow. And I'm guessing it must have been amazing to watch people who, like Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz, that have been doing this for so many years, still learning from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really awesome. Yeah.
And
It's funny as you're talking about my life and the brilliant career. It's such a funny lens to see from the outside. It's like you only see the Instagram version of it. Nobody sees my timeline full of holes.
of
And
course,
me waking up in the morning going, "I'll never work again,"
of
and
course.
all the things.
Yes. And I think probably I heard a story about Dustin Hoffman and Gene Hackman did a scene. They'd never they'd been old friends. I think they were even roommates at one point, and they'd never been in a film together, never been in a scene together, and they did some film of a John Grisham book. And the director found out that they'd never been in a scene together, had the writer write a scene, so they finally filmed this scene together, and it was like their last scene of the film, and they went out to have drinks afterwards. And the two of them were sitting there drunk, and I don't know who said it, but one of them said to the other, do you still get that feeling like I'm never going to work again when a project is done? And the other one was like, yeah. I mean, Dustin Hoffman, Gene
Yeah,
Hackman,
I know.
you know,
I know.
but I think it seems to me like that makes a lot of sense. Like we've all been working at this for so long, attempting to achieve and attempting to achieve that it's still, there's probably still a part of it that feels like a gift. And I would think in your case, where you were the kid voted most likely to be in Phantom, you were the kid that wanted it so bad, and now it's been given to you. How do you take that for granted? That it's going to happen again, right? Um, so where did if anywhere, where did improvisation or where does improvisation play a part in your life? Has it ever been something that you studied? Is it a tool that you use? Where does improvisation fall for you?
Improv, it's funny. I've been doing some theater classes with improv and teaching kids about teaching kids with improv. I've had just classes, and then we did it in school, and it's an important part of your toolbox
Yeah.
in learning this. But I haven't formally been an improver other than my concert career, coming up with coming up with on the spot funny
Yeah.
jokes as you see and you read the room, like I guess what
Yeah.
a comedian would do. It's fun, because I always tell the kids when we're in class is that why do we do improv, and they always answer the same way. They always say, well, if you miss a line then you have to do this, and it's like that's not the reason we do improv. The improv is an exercise in creativity, because
Yeah.
they put a stack of paper in front of you and that becomes this major musical, and it's out of everybody's mind and everybody's spirit and everybody's risks that they take in front of others, that we create beautiful things out of paper.
Yeah.
And that's why,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Yeah. I imagine, I'm curious how, I mean, for doing Phantom for 15 years, I imagine there must have been a level of improvisation that came into it for you simply to keep things fresh.
Well, there was in the case of, yeah, of go to fresh to a new goal and a new story each night. Yeah, there would I would
Right.
with this is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to find this, and I'm gonna deliver the line based on the feeling that I have now, and hopefully my scene partner will return it differently.
Right.
But when we did Masquerade, taking a book that I had done for 15 years and then putting it in a new scene with
Yeah.
no actual idea of how it was going to turn out for the directors. Like, I want this to happen, but I don't know what to say here. And so it was just, we became the characters in this world, and then went along and improv these scenes for a year and a half before we settled on something.
Wow. And that must have, I mean, talk about finding sort of a new depth for the character. That must
Oh
have
yeah.
really led to that.
And yeah, led to that, led to new ideas, led to new story veins, led to new actually sections of the show. We found things improving that became part of the show because it was so interesting that they just kept going down that lane.
Ah, amazing. Well, and so we're going to get to see you improvise in front of this 54 below audience. How do you feel about that? Is that what's your gut feeling when you think about doing that? Making up
I'll
help
never
making
work
up a song.
again.
Perfect answer, my friend. Perfect answer. Well,
Yes.
you will work again. You'll work again at least on July 20th at 9:30 at 54 below, and I'm sure many, many times after that. Jeremy, thank you so much for doing this, and thank you so much for joining us. We cannot wait for this show with you and your compatriots, and we'll look forward to seeing you in, gosh, what is it? It's about 20 days.
Yeah. Very excited. Very excited.
Thanks, man. Enjoy
Take
the
care.
rest of your day.
You too.
Take care.